week 7 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few guards I would look to buy low and trade for this week. The first guy's Kemba Walker of the Boston Celtics. So Walker, he's been banged up most of the season. He came back a few weeks ago. On the season, his averages are 15 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.5 steals a game, 2.1 threes, 88% from the foul line, but an awful 36% from the field. So Walker, he just hasn't found his rhythm this season here for the Boston Celtics. And the last couple weeks, it's even been worse for Walker. 28% from the field, 12 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and only 1.7 threes made per game. So right now, he's not playing well as Walker. I know he had a couple 19-point game and a 21 over the last few games, but still, he's not shooting the ball well, and he's hurting managers in a lot of categories and points leagues right now with his turnovers and his poor field goal percentage and lack of production. So right now, his value's at its lowest, and I don't think you got to get much to get Kemba on your team. And this season, he's only played in about 7 or 8 games this year. So I think he's still got to build up his stamina. He's still got to get back with the game speed. And right now is a perfect time to go out there and buy him low, where you don't got to give up much to get Walker. So he's the first guard I will look to go out there and buy low. The second guy's DeRozan of the San Antonio Spurs. DeRozan, he's been pretty solid this season for the Spurs and fantasy owners. In the last couple games, he's been up and down, is DeRozan. On the season, he's ranked number 37, 19.5 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, a great 6.6 assists for DeRozan, 0.7 threes a game. You know, he's not a good three-point shooter, 48% from the field goal percentage-wise, and 87% from the line. The last few weeks, though, his ranking's 93 overall with 17 points a game, 6 assists, 3.3 rebounds, 84% from the foul line, and 53% from the field. So DeRozan, he's a solid player for San Antonio. His assists are up this season, but his numbers have dropped a little over the last few weeks, and he's a player I would go out there and try to get, and I don't think you got to give up much to get DeRozan. And now he qualifies at shooting guard, power forward, and small forward, so that's pretty good versatility. And like I said, I don't think you got to pay a premium price for DeRozan because he don't really hit threes. His percentages, they're decent on the year, 48 and 87. But he's going to miss some games too here and there. And I don't think DeRozan owners, they're that excited about owning him this season. So I think you could get him if the price is right. The next card I would look to trade for is Donovan Mitchell of the Utah Jazz. Mitchell, he's been up and down this season. On the year, he's ranked number 81, 23 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 0.7 steals a game, 3.4 threes a game. So he's improved his three-point shooting a little this season, 82% from the foul line, and he's only 43% from the field, is Donovan Mitchell. In the last few games, he struggled before he had a big one last night versus Detroit, versus the Knicks on the 26th, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 of 15 from the field. Then versus Dallas, those 2 games he missed. And then at Denver, January 31st, 13 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Then he had a huge bounce-back game last night versus Detroit, 32 points, 6 rebounds, an assist and a steal. So Mitchell this season, there's some games where he disappears or has a bad game like he did versus New York. And then there's games like last night versus Detroit where he goes off for 30-plus points, and I think he's been inconsistent this season. Most managers drafted Donovan Mitchell in the 2nd or 3rd round, and so far this season, he's not really giving you all of that. With ranked number 81 overall on the year, in the last few weeks, he's ranked 90. So Donovan Mitchell, right now, he's a player giving you about 6th or 7th round value for the most part in fantasy basketball. And right now, I think his value is not at an all-time high, and it's about in the middle. So I will look to go out there and try to trade for him if the price is right. The next guard I will look to try to trade for is Seth Curry of the Philadelphia 76ers. So Seth Curry, he's been struggling the last couple weeks here ever since he came off the COVID list. On the season, he's ranked 111 with 13 points a game, 1.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 2.3 threes a game, 52% from the field. But the last few weeks, the struggles are real for Curry. 36% from the field, 7.7 points a game, 1 rebound, 1.7 assists, and only 1 3 a game, so he's not shooting the ball well. He's in a huge slump, and the last 4 games tells it all right now for Curry. January 25th at Detroit, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 3. January 27th versus the Lakers, 2 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. January 29th at Minnesota, 12 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And then versus at Indiana, January 31st, only 9 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 3 again. So his shot is definitely off right now for Seth Curry. He can't get in a rhythm, and he can't get going. And maybe he's not 100% health after he was on the list for 2 weeks with the protocol. So right now, hopefully Curry, he could bounce back and get to full strength. But he's a player definitely on the buy low radar, because early in the season, he was exploding for big games, and his percentages and three-point shooting were way up there with the leaders. So I think he just has to work back into shape and get all his strength and stamina back. And I think Curry will be fine, and there's no better time than to buy him low than right now here in Week 7 and the 5th and final guard. I will look to buy low here. This week is Kobe White of the Chicago Bulls. Kobe White, he's a streak shooter, no doubt about it. And this season in fantasy, he's ranked 178 with 15.4 points a game, 4.8 rebounds, 5.7 assists, a bad 2.7 turnovers a game, 2.3 threes a game, 86% from the foul line, and a pretty bad 40% from the field for Kobe White. So White, he's got to get things going. And right now, he's up and down this season for his scoring. The last couple games, he's starting to kick it into gear. January 30th versus Portland, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 threes, 54% from the field. And then versus the Knicks on February 1st, 13 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, a 3-pointer, 41% from the field. So White, he's been shooting the ball not so great this season, but he showed some flashes the last couple weeks. But right now, I think you could buy him low. Owners, they're frustrated with his turnover rate and his field goal percentage and the couple dud games he has here and there. So White, I don't think he'll cost you much to get him. And he's a player, we know what his ceiling is, and we know what potential he has and the type of big games we've seen him have this season. So if a Kobe White owner is out there trying to get rid of him and you don't got to give up much, this is the week to do it. So that's a few guards I would look to buy low and trade for here in Week 7 of the fantasy basketball season.